y'all, what's up? Today I'm going to tell you how I moved this shrimp tank from one end of my house to the other. Now, I started by clearing a very nice path all the way from the upstairs of my house to this shrimp room. I make sure that everything's clear, there's nothing on the floor, there's no dog bone on the floor, there's no shoe or anything to get in my way, because it can be quite dangerous if you are carrying a heavy object that is glass and not really being able to see your feet. What I did was I got a bunch of buckets and I siphoned out all of the water except for about half an inch. I just had enough water in here to cover these shrimp. Once I did that, I grabbed the tank, but from the bottom. I never, ever grab it from the sides, just because the pressure from grabbing it on the sides can actually quite easily crack it. So always make sure you're holding it very sturdily and securely from the bottom of the shrimp tank. Walk very slowly, walk smoothly, and remember to be careful when you're moving it. I had to walk down a flight of stairs, and I have 3 dogs. I have a son who leaves his shoes all over the place, so like I said, make sure nobody's in front of you, nothing's in front of you when you're walking with this. Brought it down and put it on my new shrimp rack, and then after that I brought down the buckets of water and put it on the top of the shelf right there. And then, as you can see here, I have it coming in nice and slowly, so I don't disturb the substrate. Now, my main concern here was bringing it down safely, not disturbing the substrate at all. So like I said, take your time, go slowly, be careful. Disturbing the substrate is something that you want to avoid, because it can lead to a spike in nitrates or ammonia. I didn't disturb anything, and once I fill up the tank, I'm still going to do a 10% water change, just to be sure that everything is as it should be. And I can even test the parameters for ammonia and nitrates as well after I'm done all this. Alright, a couple other tips I have is, if you have rocks and wood in your tank, it's important to take them out, because if they tip or fall over while you're carrying this tank, the glass could break. This could be dangerous as well. If you have a nice rimless tank, or a tank at all, it's going to cost you money to replace it, so this is definitely something you don't want to happen. If you're moving tanks not only far distances within your home or to a new house, you probably want to get some plywood and cut it a little bit bigger than the actual size of the tank, in order to give it a platform to carry it easier and to rest it down in your car or truck when you're moving. Another tip is, you might want to remove your shrimp. Not all moves are going to go really smoothly. Not all substrate is going to stay in place. So taking the shrimp out just ensures that when you set up the tank again and you test your parameters, that if there is something wrong, that you can address it before adding the shrimp back to the tank. Sponge filters or filtration, you want to make sure that the filter media does not get exposed to air for long, and that it stays in the tank water. So you don't want it sitting outside, because it's going to lose its beneficial bacteria and its ability to keep the tank cycled. It will go into a mini cycle potentially. So that's just a problem you want to avoid altogether. Now, when I refilled this tank, I had the hose resting on the sponge filter, so it was dripping all down it. So it was constantly wet with the tank water, so I wasn't worried about it losing its beneficial bacteria that way. Alright guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any other tips for moving a shrimp tank, please comment below. This was meant for shrimp tanks and small tanks, and hopefully it helped you out. Thanks for watching.